Hey, Nick from Harvest Profit here. Hope everybody is having a great week. Hopefully, your crops are hanging in there. Too much rain, too much heat. It's been a hell of a year. So, wish everybody the best on that front. And so, I wanted to talk today about setting up a new year in Harvest Profit. I know a lot of farms start to buy some inputs the summer before the growing season, specifically uh, year in year out. It seems like buying fertilizer the summer before or booking fertilizer is a an opportune thing to do. Um, well, don't really have a price opinion, but I see a number of farms do that. And so I'm going to go through the process of setting up, just getting an initial start on my 2020 harvest profit year. So if I go to inputs, and I go to inputs copy, I'm going to take my 2019 expenses. So in the left column here, I select 2019. In the right column, I select 2020. And then I'm going to select all of my expenses. I won't do fuel for now. I'll do that later. Obviously need to go through and update some of these, specifically fertilizer, seed, chemical, a bunch of them. But rather than having to recreate them, we can just copy them over to 2020. There they are. We save that. It's just going to go down the list here and save. So we're all saved and good to go. So if I go to my inputs tab, there they are. I can just update all of my prices. And then I'm going to go over to my crop planner tab. And so I'm just going to go and click these buttons to get started here. And then we have corn, soybeans, a little bit of spring wheat on this farm, back to corn. And so then I'm going to select all the fields. I could have, if you notice that, I could have just went through and set the crop here. So I could have clicked these buttons and then bulk set the crop. So if you have lots of fields, you don't have to go through field by field. I'm going to set it to, I'm just going to set them all to Harvest LLC for now, and then I'll go through and tweak these later. And then the next step, I just saved that. Might take a second because we're doing quite a bit of work here in the background to set up a lot of the calculations. So just give that a second. Good to go. I'm going to go to my applications tab, and this will be improved here in relatively short order on how we set these yields. But I'm just going to set all of my corn yields to the same, and I'll do the same thing on soybeans. Obviously, yields vary from area to area. I try to have this farm, somewhat be representative of a national average. Once again, the saving functionality will be changed, but taking 4 seconds of my time to save it isn't the end of the world. And so there we are. If we go back to our P&L, we can start to see our live data. Because we don't have any fertilizer, seed, or chemical applied to our fields, we don't have, this budget is not representative. We're not going to make $830,000 next year. But what I would do now is I would go to one of my corn fields, one of my soybean fields, and my wheat field, and then I would just set a fertility plan, a seed plan, and a chemical plan, and then I'd copy that to all the rest of my fields. So that typically takes about another 90 seconds or so. So really, that's where we can get started on setting up a harvest profit, a new year in harvest profit. So I'll go over those steps again. 1, you copy your inputs from year to year. 2, you set up your crops in the crop planner. and 3, you start to update your applications. And that's really all it takes. So we're trying to keep this as simple as possible. And then the other thing I want to note, somewhere in Harvest Profit, there is something that we would call a Easter egg. It's kind of a fun little piece of functionality. The first person to find the Easter egg, email me, nick@harvestprofit.com, and you won yourself an iPad. So it'd be some sort of piece of functionality that is just a little fun, a little unique. When you see that, it's an interactive piece of functionality. First person to see that emails me, and they will win an iPad. So thank you very much for your business. We appreciate everything, and have a good rest of your growing season. Thank you.